Hello all, once again, to Guilday's guest with me, Thomas Guilday, on WXSU LP Salisbury. It's a talk show where I talk about anything and everything from comedy to history and I get to talk with a lot of my friends. Once again, I'm here with Nolan Gallagher.
What's going on, everybody?
How are you doing today?
Doing well. A little busy, but...
Oh, dude, I'm
glad
so
to be
busy.
there. I know. Yeah, especially with Mr. Zeta coming up tonight.
It's tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
5 o'clock.
Big night, 5 o'clock. I got to be there at 4:30, though.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to have to miss that class.
Prepping.
Yeah, and I feel bad because I'm going to have to miss next Wednesdays as well because I'm going to Florida. So...
Yeah, but
I mean,
there's a class going to Florida. I think I'll take going to Florida.
Yeah, exactly. So since we already went through some of our questions, here's some new ones. Gearing up towards the holiday season. Oh, excuse me. How have you been gearing up for the holiday season? Have you been, decorating or anything?
As sad as it is to say, quite honestly, I don't think I've done anything yet. I've been so wrapped up in school, the job interview process, trying to find some work when I graduate in the spring. Doing my RA duties, I just really haven't had too much time to do much of anything. Quite honestly, it doesn't even feel like Halloween is in a few days.
I think I put out a candy bowl full of caramel, but I'm the only one eating them. So that's mainly what I've done.
Oh, well, I guess actually today in our meeting, we got a little bag of candy that was leftovers, but hey, we'll take it. Candy's candy. Yeah, a couple of fruit snacks in there. It was good.
Oh, that is good.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd hate it as a kid, if you went to a house and they gave you that. But looking back, I really like fruit snacks, but I would still be, a little upset.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I remember there was this one house in my neighborhood who used to give out raisins, boxes of raisins.
I hated that.
And it's I get that you're trying to, maybe be a little healthier, giving out raisins.
I don't understand that.
It's Halloween.
I don't understand that. If you hold yourself and your family to such a high standard, why do you care about every other family? Why do you care if the other kids are healthy?
Exactly. I mean, I get exactly, but
they're just not going to eat it.
Seriously, yeah, it's just a waste of money. It's going in the trash.
The effect of either eating the raisins or throwing them out is the exact same.
Seriously.
It's the exact same healthiness because I'm still going to eat the other candy.
Yep.
And I won't be getting the calories of the raisins, but I also won't be getting the health. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I feel like it's still just...
There's no counteracting thing. It's
No.
It's really just doesn't make any sense.
Plus, it's Halloween.
It is Halloween.
Give out candy.
Yeah, Halloween actually is my family's least favorite holiday.
Really?
Well, my grandmother owned a costume store, and Halloween was our D-Day.
Yep. I can imagine.
I started working when I was 9. I was picking up the phone calls for them, and, of course, all these people, they're like, costume stores, excuse me? How old are you? And I go, 9.
Old enough to answer the phone?
What do you want?
Yeah.
Just
what do you want?
I got rat costumes, werewolf costumes, Mario. I got everything, man.
How about this? How about you come on down and you take a look?
Yeah.
What do you want me to describe the costumes to you?
Yeah. And I also knew how to do a military discount in the actual cash register.
Nice.
I think I needed a stool. I don't remember, though.
That's awesome.
But what is your costume for this year?
I'm still undecided.
Yeah.
Usually, almost every year since I've been at least in middle school, it's pretty much a game time decision. I throw together whatever it is, probably an hour before I gotta go do whatever I'm doing.
Yep.
So, I don't know. It's still up in the air.
Yeah.
I have to figure that one out.
I feel that. I was hoping maybe you could give me an idea. I mean, if I have the baby carrier in one of my drawers that I got freshman year, I'm just gonna dress up like a dad and put a bag full of sugar in the baby carrier and be a sugar daddy.
That's
Again,
a good one.
I did that freshman year, but I haven't done it since.
Is it the legit?
It's like an actual baby carrier.
How about, I'm trying to think of his name from The Hangover.
Oh, Zach Galifianakis.
Yep. I wonder if you could rock that. You got the flow going now.
Everyone
You got the flow going now.
Everyone said that with my beard, I look like Zach Galifianakis.
Dude, I could. You just need to get those You just need goggles, sunglasses.
Have you ever seen his interviews?
The what is
Into
it?
the Fern?
Into the Dude, they're
so
hilarious.
funny. I loved it with Steve Carell, where he.
I think I did see that.
Yeah,
I think I've seen some clips of that one.
he was like, he just talked about Steve Carell's big nose, big fat nose, and then Steve Carell just goes. They say the camera adds 10 pounds. It looks like you ate 3 cameras.
That's awesome.
And then Zach Galifianakis gets up and like gets in his face a little bit and like says, "Listen, the point is, I'm not that fat, all right? I'm not that fat." And then he sits down and the chair breaks.
The chair breaks, yeah. Dude, I feel like every guest that gets on there always goes at him about his weight. Every single time. That's like your go-to like clapback.
It was great when Obama did it too.
Dang, I didn't see the Obama
Hillary
one.
Clinton was on it. And
really?
Zach Galifianakis had a notepad out and he had his legs crossed and he goes, "So what's the best way to reach you? Email?" And then she just looks very upset at him.
That's great.
And also, I think the Secret Service tackled him in that one.
Dude, I wonder how much planning goes into that for him.
Probably a ton. I mean, I know how much planning goes into this show.
Seriously.
And it's probably a lot. What's your favorite holiday and why?
My favorite holiday? It's got to be Christmas.
It's Christmas.
It's got to be
always
Christmas. I mean,
why wouldn't it be Christmas?
Christmas is the most cliche answer, but...
No, but it's the best
Dude,
answer.
Why would I not want to get a bunch of gifts?
Seriously.
I mean, it's awesome. Gift giving is pretty great as well. You know, I will say that. Seeing smiles on people's faces when you give them something good. But it is even better to get your own gifts.
I mean,
awesome.
I like gift giving more than anything, really.
Really?
Just because, like...
It's right up there.
As I'm older, I've noticed that, like, my tastes and, like, what I need and what I want are a lot different. A lot of the time, I just want, like, a big pack of socks. Nice socks. And a big pack of underwear. The stuff that, like, when I was a kid, I would have hated. I would have absolutely hated getting that stuff. Now, I love it. I'm like, oh, more stuff that, I can go through the week, and I can go through the week longer and not do any laundry for a longer period of time.
I'm right there with you on that.
Dude,
actually.
It's amazing.
My mom's been asking me what I want for Christmas lately, and it's like, I think the 3 things I've told her is new pair of AirPods, a suit, and what's the other one? Just more clothes or something.
More clothes.
It's like, I can't even imagine 5 or 7 years ago, if I had like a flash forward to the future, knowing that I'm asking for a suit, some headphones, and just other clothes, I'd be like, who is this guy?
I'd probably have a mental breakdown.
Seriously, this is Christmas? Are you kidding me? Usually be video games. I always used to ask for a dirt bike as well. Never got one. Never got one. I got an electric one. You know, like the little Razor dirt bikes?
Yeah.
Got those, but it was always gas-powered dirt bike. Never got one.
We had
a good reason why.
We had a mini bike, and we also had a motorized bicycle.
That's sweet.
I never rode it.
Really?
I don't think so.
Dude, over the summer we were just at one of my dad's buddies' the house is down in Ocean City, and he's got one of the newer, like, motorized bikes.
Oh, yeah. What, an
Dude.
Electric one?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And it has this setting on it to where you can pedal, and, like, the battery still goes with it.
Yeah.
So, you just start pedaling like crazy, and you are hauling.
It's like a hybrid thing.
Seriously. Dude, I think I topped it out at, like, 38 or something.
That's insane.
Dude, on a bicycle, it's like,
that's insanely fast for a bicycle.
Seriously.
I'm sorry.
It was fun, though.
I mean, of course it is. What have you been doing outside of school lately? Action oriented.
I recently just got into Kung Fu.
Oh, yeah?
Just kidding, no. I didn't
No.
get into Kung Fu.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool, though.
Yeah. What about those bands you've been seeing? I saw, like, you went to a band last weekend.
Yeah, last weekend, on Friday night, I saw the 1 Gram Band. Shout
Who
out
were
to
they?
them. Salisbury
Why didn't
University.
you let me know?
Originated band.
No.
They graduated. Well, one of them I think is still going to school, but it was off a whim. I think my
really?
brother my brother told me, and we were like, okay, cool. There we go. Yeah, and then Saturday night was up in Baltimore.
Uh,
That was Daniel Donato and Cosmic Country and the Kitchen Dwellers. And actually, the amount of Instagram giveaways I've entered, that was the first one that I won. I won 2 free tickets to it. And it was awesome.
did they still steal your credit card after, or
No.
okay,
No,
that was just
no.
all the other ones?
Yeah, just
Okay,
the other ones.
Okay.
But no, then I got conned into buying a T-shirt, so
Oh wow.
I literally paid more for a T-shirt than the tickets would have been.
Yeah,
But,
probably.
hey, nothing wrong with it. Still a good time.
Um,
Cool T-shirt too.
You know who I met this weekend? I was at Jake's house. We were having a party, and I met you know Housing Co.
Yes.
That's one of the other local Salisbury bands. They wrote Lost. I'll
Maybe.
play.
I'd
I'll
have
play
to
it for
hear
you
that.
after. But I was talking with them. And I got to talk with their manager and stuff, and I'm like, you know, I really dig your guys' music, and like their set list isn't terrible.
Mhm.
Like I kind of like it. So I was like, hey, you know, I'll try and see if like we can get you to play in Fager's Island.
That'd be sweet.
I mean, like if we could get like a nice live band, that'd be pretty sweet.
Oh yeah.
I mean, even it doesn't even have to be for like the whole night. It could be like for 30 minutes
Oh, you're talking for
for NSSC.
NSSE? That would be awesome.
I mean, I would have to bring them in to like you know the faculty and stuff, and like show them music. Like I would want to actually hear their full set, not just the one that they have on Spotify with, because their full set has their 2 songs and then a bunch of other songs that are covers.
Mhm.
But their covers aren't recorded by them in Spotify, so I don't know how that other stuff sounds. All I know
Okay.
is I like their 2 songs.
What are
And
some of the songs they covered? Do you know?
Animal by Neon something. A bunch of Weezer songs.
Nice.
Who else? I don't know. There's a bunch of them, but like it's all kind of like the same type of stuff where it's like poppy and then like you know early to late 2000s stuff,
Mm.
which like pretty good. You know,
Yeah.
nothing too out of the blue or like a weird sort of vibe to it. Just
Mm.
like a nice. I think that's what they're going for. A nice like party vibe.
Is it like a pop punk kind of deal?
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
I was just forgetting what the actual terms were.
Yeah. Do you know by any chance if they? I could be mixing up. Did they go by Pocket Dog by any chance? Because I know that's another band that's in Salisbury, and they play very similar kind of deal.
I don't know
They're good.
because, yeah, I don't know. Because all I only know them for is Housing Co.
Housing Co.
Yeah. What's your favorite Halloween candy?
It has changed over the years a lot. I
Yeah.
would say right now it's probably an Almond Joy.
What?
Yep. Dude. That look tells me you do not like Almond Joys, but they are fantastic.
Well, I was gonna pull out a controversial opinion right after you, but after you said Almond Joy, I don't know if I want to. My
loving
controversial
'em.
opinion was I like candy corn.
Dude, candy corn is great.
I
love
tried it
candy
last
corn, too.
year, and I was like, this is really good.
Dude, I love candy corn. It gives me a bad stomachache, but hey, it's worth it. I still eat it. Have you ever had like the pumpkins?
No?
They're like it's pretty much candy corn too, but they're just in like a pumpkin shape.
Oh.
It's probably the same thing, but
Oh.
yeah, dude.
Nice.
Yeah, I like them as well.
What about worst candy?
The worst candy. Off the top of my head, a Tootsie Roll.
Really?
I don't like Tootsie Rolls. No, it's just too much. Gets stuck to my teeth.
Mm.
And I'm not too big into chocolate. I like,
Yeah.
I guess actually, Almond Joys and then Mike and Ike's is probably actually my favorite candy. I'm more to like a fruity candy, like
Mhm.
Starburst, you
Yeah.
know, all that over chocolate and such.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
straight Tootsie Roll, like just the chocolate, that's not necessarily my favorite, but I'll eat them. You know,
Yeah, I
it
get
really
it.
depends.
Yeah, I get it. I guess I'll move on to like my last question. What's one holiday tradition that you wish you could change?
I wish I could change.
Yeah. I know mine.
I don't know. Maybe if we could extend Thanksgiving to like 3 days long. So just like a 3-day feast where I do nothing but eat food, sit on the couch, and watch football, and take a ton of naps. That would be an awesome 3 days.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic.
Mine would also be to change Thanksgiving, but I'd like to get rid of the turkey. It is so bland. I would just much rather have a honey roasted ham.
Yeah. I always go for the ham over the turkey.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it depends how you do it. It really depends how you do it. Have you ever had a fried turkey?
No.
They're pretty good. If it can stay juicy, it really depends. I don't know. Have you ever had, like, just a turkey breast as well? Like, rather than the whole turkey, it's just, like, a big turkey breast?
I mean, no. If I had it, it was definitely on the turkey at one point when we cooked it.
Yeah. They're good, dude.
Are they?
Yeah. Butterball has these just, like, individual turkey breasts. And they stay so much more juicy for some reason. I guess because it takes a lot less time to cook, since it's way less, substance and meat going on. But, yeah, dude. I don't necessarily hate turkey, but if there's a ham there, I'm going for the ham.
Oh, dude. I mean, just, like, ham is so much better.
Yeah. Especially the honey glazed ham.
And it's like it's got that nice crust too.
Yep.
It's like fatty and it just like it's got and sometimes it's got a real nice crunch to it.
Mm-hmm.
You could put it on bread. You could put it on anything. You could put it in a burrito.
Plus, it's the best leftover.
Oh my!
It is the best leftover.
And it's like the only cold food that I like.
Yep.
Or the only cold meat that I like. Aside from steak, like I'll eat steak, cold no matter what.
Yeah, I could eat steak cold too.
I would much rather have it cold than microwave a steak.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
After I've already cooked it.
What I've been doing lately, though, is like cutting it up real thin and then putting it in a pan for a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, just like a little bit of butter. Just to, like, get it to it's a little warmer than what's going on. It still doesn't get cooked all the way through.
Yeah.
It's not shoe leather.
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
No, it is.
I got a question for you, though.
What?
What would you say your favorite Thanksgiving dish is?
Definitely mashed potatoes.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there anything like that your family makes strictly on Thanksgiving that like you don't have
Any time of the year? Not particularly. I mean, most of the stuff we go and we just get stuff from Costco. But like, all of us are really good cooks in my family. So it doesn't really matter, like, as long as the ingredients are fresh, it doesn't really matter, like, where we get them or, like, if we do anything special with them. We just, like, know how to cook. Because my grandmother went to culinary school and she taught all of us.
Yeah.
And, like, it was just... but definitely the mashed potatoes, which, granted, they are, like, Costco mashed potatoes, but they're so tasty.
Dude, mashed potatoes
They're so good.
Are they the instant ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, we put butter in it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
See, I love instant mashed potatoes, too. I love the fresh or the instant. My brother hates the instant for some reason. And I'm like, dude, you're a lunatic. Like, they're delicious. They're delicious.
I agree. So, like, some of the ones in, like, the small bags can be, like, kind of a little bit, like, a little dicey. It's like, I don't know about this. This seems like astronaut food. You know what I mean? It's
just
like,
depends how you do it.
It's powder, and it's like, this is clearly meant for someone who has no other options.
Yeah. Yeah.
As well as some of the bagged rice, I think.
See, I can agree with you on the bagged rice too. The one bagged rice that I think is lights out every time is the broccoli and like it's like a cheesy broccoli rice.
Oh really?
And I've never had a single brand that I didn't like of it. But like all the other like chicken flavored rice or just like the other ones, I'm not a big fan.
No, I just make plain white rice.
Really? Yeah. I would do that too.
And then I like to put a lot more water in my rice cooker than most people, just because I like it to be softer, and I don't want I just want it to have more water in it. Moving on, do you know any of the origins for Halloween?
No.
No.
Negative.
Great. Fantastic.
All I can think of is Edgar Allan Poe, and I don't think he has anything to do with
I
Halloween.
didn't think so either. He just like...
He just comes to mind when I think of like Halloween.
He wrote that little short story about the man with his heart in a box, or his boss's heart in a box. I wish I could relate. My boss has me by a ball and chain. Instead, I wish I wish there was some sort of thing. where I can't relate. You know what I mean?
Hey, right there with you.
The earliest similarities to modern day Halloween took place over 2,000 years ago in modern day Ireland, England, and northeastern France. It's where the Celts existed at the time. And they would hold Samhain. I believe that's how, I don't know how it's pronounced, but we're going to call it Samhain. At the end of the harvest season and beginning of the winter season, where it's about to get cold and they didn't have food. So, they believed the dead would return on the earth on Samhain and would gather around a campfire, offer sacrifices, and honor the dead. They'd also dress in costumes made of animal pelts to ward off unwanted phantoms. And they'd also set out foods, or they would set out tables of foods to help distract these unwanted ghosts. Sorry. So that was basically kind of one of the starts. And then by the 9th century, Christianity and the Romans had taken over pretty much most of Europe and most of the known world at that point. And with it, Christianity was spread. And that was one thing that Christianity did really well, was kind of adopting all of the major cultures in the area as best as they could, or as much as they wanted to, by using their holidays or using traditions. So during that time, the church established All Spirits Day and All Souls Day. The poor of these areas in the 9th century would travel to the rich homes and offer an exchange to richer families. The rich families would provide what's called soul cakes to the poor, and the poor would pray for the rich family's deceased relatives.
What?
Yeah.
That is interesting. What is a soul cake?
Probably just a nice honey bun cake. That's what I was imagining. Or something. I would like to think it's nice cornbread, a nice cornbread little thing, and
I could see that.
They're stacked high on a plate. You know what I mean? There's 8 of them. For
I could see that.
Yeah. I would say if I was poor and I had to pray for a family member, I would have to have at least 3 soul cakes for each family member that I'm praying for. That's my rate.
I can see that. Wait, so the poor gave the rich soul cakes?
No.
Or the rich
gave
poor,
the poor soul cake.
And then the poor prayed for the rich?
Yeah.
How many people do you think just took the soul cakes and didn't pray?
I would say probably less than 40%, but more than 30.
I can see that gap.
Or more than 25.
Yeah, it'd be interesting though. I feel like at that time though, I don't know, there'd probably be some bad omens on them. You know what I mean?
I guess.
Because pretty much Christianity and religion really ruled the world at that time, right?
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, the guy who owned the wheel factory down the street actually owned the world. He was so rich, he had 2 pence. He could literally buy families.
Yeah.
But eventually, the tradition of souling was taken up by the children of the poor. These children would make the journey to the rich houses and ask for food, money, or even ale.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm about to go souling on
Seriously.
Thursday.
Yeah, except I'm just going to go for option
Actually,
3.
I'm just going to go to Guido's.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be begging for it. I'm just going to pay for it. But moving over to the U.S., the northern parts of the country would very rarely, if ever, participate in the act of Halloween. It was actually far more popular in the regions such as Maryland and other southern states. The northern parts of the country were strict Protestants.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
And I guess there was some sort of, I don't know, thing about death or whatever, even though the 9th century thing, souling, evolved into Halloween, so I don't understand what the problem was. But I guess it was just because it was connected to Catholics in a lot of ways. So, and actually, oh God, sorry. the the first celebrations of within the colonies actually included play parties. Play parties were basically big neighborhood block parties in the colonial United States, where members of the community would gather, tell stories of the dead, tell each other's fortunes, and dancing and singing took place.
Sounds like an awesome time.
Yeah, it does.
Actually, yeah.
Plus, I mean,
We should go back to those.
the only option you had was live music.
True.
You know what I mean?
I guess, yeah, because there really was literally no other option.
Who do you think would be is like a bigger rock stars? Rock stars now or rock stars back then? I feel like you get a lot more gigs.
Back then?
Yeah. Because it would be like, hey, Dale, I really could use like, I really would like to listen to some music.
Dale, I need you to pick up that guitar.
Listen, I need some music
I
on my
need
walk
it.
to work today.
Yeah.
I parked my cart over there. I've got a 0.25 mile hike to the front door of my office building. And, and they only validate my parking over there, so I really need to hear your music in my ears on the way over.
You have no choice, buddy. You have to come.
I'll put
and
on
play.
2 big acorns over my ears, and you'll have a string, and it'll be attached to a little can, and you can play music right into that.
God,
It's
that'd
called
be awesome.
streaming. I call it stringing.
Groundbreaking. Groundbreaking. I don't know about that though. I feel like rock stars now, I would have to say. I don't know. I'm conflicted on that because right now I'm taking that history class that is pretty much like all United States history up until the Civil War.
Yeah.
And they were talking that most of like what you would deem a rock star back then was like preachers and such like that.
What an unfun time to live in.
Yeah.
My goodness. I mean,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. I'm sure there are some preachers that are actually very enthusiastic and can probably tell some good jokes, but a lot of them would just probably make me feel bad.
Yeah. Well, the specific instance I'm thinking of is I can't remember what his name was, but he was like the first big rock star besides from Benjamin
Jesus.
Franklin, who he was just known.
Oh,
the first,
Benjamin
like,
Franklin is
U.S.
king of
known
Riz.
from, yeah, yeah. But the guy I'm thinking of, I can't remember his name, but he was like one of the first to like preach about emotions and like really involve emotions into religion. Like you have to feel it. You know what I mean? And that's when the whole idea of like before they were talking about like predestination and such. You know what I mean? Like God has your entire life planned out and everything. And he was like one of the first to really, I guess, push the idea that you can change your you know what I mean? Like you can change the course of your life and such like that. And it was all about feeling emotion. And he was, quote unquote, the new rock star.
Nice.
So
During the second half of the 19th century, the country was flooded with large groups of immigrants. And a large influx of Irish immigrants helped popularize the celebration throughout the country. And the term trick-or-treat, or the saying trick-or-treat, as you would do as a kid, is believed to be popularized by a 1950s comic produced by Walt Disney, where Donald Duck and his 3 nephews, Huey, Louie, and Dewey,
creative.
had just set it at a door.
And that's how it got started.
I read it somewhere, and I wouldn't say I don't believe it, but I wouldn't say that like it'd be the most shocking thing in the world if that was not true.
It would not surprise me.
I mean,
Considering how things now just take off, like all the viral.
oh, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like how one little thing that is pretty much mindless
Yeah,
just takes off.
it is crazy. So right now we're gonna go on to some terrifying tales with Thomas.
Nice. We can go to 1.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So we're going to do terrifying tales with Thomas, and basically these are just some stories from around the country about like weird occurrences or like weird localities, and just like stories that kind of went on that believed to have cause some spooky happenings. Ooh. Chesapeake Bay, the Chesapeake Ghost Tours, actually has a tour of the Dirty Bury.
Really?
Yeah. And they go through some more of our more terrifying old buildings, such as the old courthouse, where there were 3 or 4 murders that took place.
In the courthouse?
There's a holding cell in the courthouse.
Okay.
But the one instance that comes to...
There you go.
The one instance that, like, people believe is the one that's, like, most haunting, or the one that was, like, the worst, was in 1968, I believe. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes. Yes, December of 1968, where at 9:30 p.m. a man was brought to the county courthouse. 21-year-old Joseph Bartholomew was within the jail. He suddenly brandished a handgun and convinced the deputy sheriff watching the inmates to open his cell. After escaping from the confines of his cell, he gunned down the deputy and then later exited the door and murdered the sheriff. He escaped out the back door and down the alley behind the courthouse. It was later followed up by the largest manhunt the Eastern Shore had seen at the time. He was quickly caught at his motel room in Delaware when the Delaware State Police stormed the room.
Bartholomew.
Yeah. Joe Bartholomew.
First of all, it's an awesome last name, but a horrible act
Yeah.
by what that guy did.
Yeah.
But, so that was 68?
Yeah. December of 68.
Huh. How would they hunt him down? I feel like if you kill the sheriff, kill the guard that is there, how many real witnesses can really...
Probably all of the other people in the jail who the DA is now going to give leniency if they tell them who did it.
But once you get out the door, though, like who's there to really...
I mean, you just like kind of post a bunch of... I mean, this is what I do. I would give all the pictures of the guy to the motels, and then...
Yeah, fair.
Or like hotels, places where you live,
Yeah.
you know? Put it out in the newspaper.
The next state over. Dude, I would be long gone. I'd be in Montana by that time.
I would be surprised if I was still in the country, to be honest.
Nowadays, yeah. 68? Well, I guess, I mean, if you're willing to kill the sheriff and kill the guard, might as well... Actually, that wouldn't work. I was going to say go kill a pilot and try to take the plane, but I don't think you'd be able to fly an airplane like that.
Well, I think you could take it off pretty well. This is my theory about flying, right?
Use WikiHow.
I think you could... in 1968. I think, it's pretty... I think my theory about flying is you can pretty confidently probably take off and fly around for a bit. The navigating probably really isn't that important. I think it's just the landing part that really is the main issue.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely true. Getting back down.
I mean, not only that, like, with a lot of landing, like, you need the big runway or whatever, but also you need to tell someone you're landing. And if you're trying to run from somewhere, like, you can't just, like, be like, hey, I need to land here.
Hey, this is Joe Bartholomew.
I just murdered 2 cops in Maryland. And the pilot, and I'm trying to land this plane. I need permission to land. Okay, you've got permission, but there's going to be...
You'd be swarmed.
Absolutely swamped.
Yeah. Fair. It's fair.
You'd have to have, like... Oh.
It sounded better in my head, okay?
It's okay. 2 were arrested in connection to the 2 murders. A 19-year-old Connie Becker was arrested for bringing the .22 caliber revolver in a box of candy to Joe Bartholomew. And another 21-year-old man who... for driving him somewhere else once he had escaped.
Fair sentences. Or I
So,
guess
like-
fair convictions.
So, like, how big was the box of candy?
That's what I'm thinking, too. And, like, how do you not search a box of candy? First of all, how do you let an inmate just receive a box of candy?
I don't know. I don't. There's a lot of questions. Like, I don't know. Maybe they didn't like have anything like families had to provide food or whatever.
Yeah.
Who knows, man? I mean, that just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it is probably 68.
And was there no friendly cop banter once he walked in and what a cop would do? He would be like, "Oh, thank you so much for me."
Yeah.
You'd like joke around a little bit, and obviously this 19-year-old girl is gonna be like, "No, it's not for you.
No, you can't."
She's gonna be like real nervous or whatever, real shifty, and the cop would be like, "Okay, head on in."
Yeah, you got it. Bartholomew's cell? Yeah, he's right down there.
I don't even know what he was brought in for. I didn't find that out.
No. Probably like a traffic ticket. Unpaid parking fine.
Sometimes that's like just how it is. Bartholomew was actually found guilty by jury and was sentenced to death in Maryland by gas chamber. But the suspension of the death penalty in Maryland came before his execution date.
Really?
Yeah.
Wonder how long Bartholomew was in prison for then.
He just died recently.
Really?
Yeah. So his entire life.
How old was he at the time?
21. 22.
Dang. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. And that was... Wow.
68, yeah.
Yeah. What goes through your head doing that? I really want to know what he did now. Because if you're willing to do that to get out of jail, like out of
or just
your
like as an
holding cell, like
attempt,
before your
like,
you know what I mean?
I don't know. I just feel like for some of these people, their risk-reward system in their brain is like broken.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they only see like the reward part of it. Whereas like, if I don't know, if it was like if he had come in for like murder or something, right?
Previous something that you would
like,
be
like one
life
murder,
sentence.
right? But like there would be ways to like get a jury or whatever and be like, all right, he's 21, he made a mistake, like give him 25 years. But then like to actually plan out and execute like 2 murders of police officers in a short time just for the possibility of escaping, it doesn't make any sense.
No. Not much sense at all.
So, if it even was murder, like, which I don't even know if it was, it wouldn't make sense to take such a drastic leap to do it.
Yeah. Unless it could have just gone awry. You know what I mean? Like he was just gonna brandish a weapon and hope to just get out. But then I feel like you wouldn't kill the sheriff as well. But who knows?
I mean, I don't know.
It'd make a cool movie.
Maybe. They make tons of movies about murders now.
I was gonna say that's like all of Netflix.
Yeah.
All these murder documentaries and such. It's
Yeah.
like this is so dark. Come back with the comedies.
It's not great.
Yeah.
I can't.
It's like I want some comedies.
It's like, you turn on ABC News and they're like, oh yeah, Russia, they're gonna nuke us all. Oh well. And then you're like, okay, I don't want to listen to this anymore. It gives me anxiety. And then, you go to History Channel and they're like, okay, so
John Wilkes Booth.
John Wilkes Booth is actually going to blow up the biggest volcano in the United States, and it's going to kill the entire eastern seaboard. And it's like, oh my god. Moving on, and then it gets to like Nickelodeon, and like, there's just like, it's of course like Teen Nick or whatever, and it's just like, Johnny's in the hospital for doing drugs.
It's like,
And then all the characters like look down at the floor and turn to each other, and then all the audience goes,
yeah. It's interesting.
and then and then it closes to black, and you're like, oh my god, I don't want to listen to any of this.
Here we go. And then your only other options are what, like Friends or Seinfeld?
Oh, great.
Yeah, that was I
Yeah,
swear,
and
dude.
then,
Either one
it's
of the
like
two are
it's the
always
Sein-
on.
and then it's the Seinfeld episode where George actually like drugs his boss.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
Yeah, it's like the
But-
first season.
Really?
Yeah, that's why he's basically jobless for the entire run of the series.
The entire time.
Yeah.
It's Seinfeld, the show about nothing.
What?
Isn't that
Oh
what they
yeah,
call it?
that's the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah. I like Seinfeld. Seinfeld or Friends?
Seinfeld.
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
I think Jerry Seinfeld's funny.
Oh yeah,
He's
but I like George Costanza.
Yeah.
I say the name of the character more than I do the actual actor.
Yeah.
Just because like that's such a pronounced character.
Who's what's his name is hilarious too.
Kramer.
Kramer. Yep. Dude, I think Kramer is hilarious.
Yeah, that character is really funny in that show.
In the show.
Yeah, his. I can tell you after what that comedian has done.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I retract that though.
Yeah.
I like the character of Kramer.
Yeah.
Man.
No, definitely. And then Newman. Newman's also. But I like Elaine a lot as well.
Yeah.
Elaine's like super
She's funny.
funny.
She is funny.
But the sad irony of this whole story was the morning of before the murder, there was an article being written about by the Salisbury Daily Times in December of that year, same day, that criticized how the courthouse cells were outdated and unsafe. And Sheriff Graham refuted these claims and said the courthouse processing cells were completely safe.
That came to bite him in the butt.
It did.
Quite literally.
No, it was his head, but
Bit the bullet.
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
It's messed up. That was a real person. Dang.
That is, I mean, yeah. Rest in peace.
Haunted Harper's Ferry. You ever been to Harper's Ferry? It's in West Virginia. Well, it's in like 3 different states.
Yes, I believe so. Actually, do they have like I think I went whitewater rafting.
Yeah,
in
you
Harper's
definitely
Ferry.
did. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's there. Yeah, so basically they got this little town, and have you ever been hiking up there?
No, but my mom actually this summer was hiking up there.
Oh, you
She
got
sent me a bunch of pictures.
Yeah,
and
you
stuff.
gotta. It's so good.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, hiking's
Um,
great.
I love hiking. I don't really get a chance to do it once I'm here.
Mm.
And sadly I don't get a chance to do it in the summer either, just because I'm working all the time. But I try my best to hike as much as I can.
As much as you can, yeah. There's a couple cool spots in Annapolis.
Oh yeah, like I did
Couple
Billy
nice
Goat Trail
trails.
I did Billy Goat Trail once, or
Uh-huh.
probably twice actually. And that was fun. And I was crazy back then. Like I was like super in shape, and you know I was like climbing up the rocks and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
But Harper's Ferry, I love Harper's Ferry. I love the town too. Like they got a bunch of like nice little food places,
Mhm.
and they got like my favorite candy store in the world, which is like a candy museum, where it's like a gallery of like candy throughout the years.
That's pretty cool.
And it starts out with like licorice roots, and like they're just straight up roots that taste like licorice apparently, and like that was like the origin of licorice ropes.
Huh.
And then it moves on to like some simple sugars, and then it goes like caramel, gum from like ancient times or whatever, and they've got this whole book or whatever, and website but I love their caramel. It's so good.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of caramel.
It's my favorite.
Dang, I
candy.
gotta try it then.
It's my favorite candy.
Do you like the what are they? You know, like the hard candies?
Yeah.
Like your grandma has?
Werther's, yeah.
Yeah.
Butterscotch.
Don't they have I think they have a caramel one too.
Yeah, they've got both.
I know they do the soft
Do you know
caramels
the-
too. The soft ones are really good.
Do you know the difference between caramel and butterscotch?
Negative.
Caramel is made with white sugar, and butterscotch is made with brown sugar.
Really?
the
All their
only
ingredients are
that's
the
the only
same
difference.
cooking process?
Yeah. It's literally like just like sugar and some cream.
Wow.
Like
And it changed like the flavor profile that drastically?
Yeah. I mean, you can have like specialized
Yeah.
caramel recipes, but like it's just sugar.
Comes down to the same thing. pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah. It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact of the day.
Yeah. Haunted Harper's Ferry. There are countless stories throughout the town of Harper's Ferry about ghosts. The town was involved in the colonial forefront of the country, and both sides of the Civil War had fought over the town due to its river and rail shipping potential. It's like where the Potomac and some other river in Virginia meet, and then it goes right to Washington. So it's like a huge potential. I mean, like not anymore, just because like a bunch of their bridges collapsed and like there's just rocks everywhere. Plus, we don't
tons of rocks.
We don't. I mean, like it just doesn't have. It's small. It's a small river. The Potomac is small too.
Yeah.
You know, it was never really ideal. It's just better to ship stuff by rail.
Yeah. I was saying, I can
send
see
it to Baltimore.
The rail potential.
No, the rail potential is there too.
Ton of train tracks everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was gonna say, because when we were whitewater rafting, dude, I was gonna.
There's tons of
tell
rocks
you
everywhere.
A little story about it earlier, but it was more of out of your raft trying to
get back in.
Drag yourself over these rocks because you just get stuck.
Yeah.
And more than it is like going down the river.
Yeah.
It was very frustrating.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. But I don't know if I necessarily go and do it again. Dude, I got out, my legs were all scraped up from all these rocks and such. Could have just been a bad day, but...
I went whitewater rafting in Idaho, and that was great.
Really?
It's nice. It's nice, man. And, like, there were sections of the river, and it was, like, a long, long way, right? And so there were sections of the river where you could basically chill, and you could just jump out of the boat and like float around alongside the boat.
Like real deep waters?
Well, I mean, just like chill waters that would just like still take you along the side.
That's sweet.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. Especially if it was like a super hot day.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we went, it was really hot too, so.
Yeah, but anyways, locals of the town are adamant that the whole town is haunted. Harper's Ferry. Actually, believe it or not, the manager of the Candy Museum in Harper's Ferry is known as the Ghost Lady to many locals for a particular knack of seeing ghostly apparitions. There are reportedly 2 ghosts that like to frequent the store. A woman in a white flowy gown who goes to the top floor of the store where no one goes, and the second ghost she refers to by name, Colby, a man who likes to show himself. Usually a shoulder or a pant leg walking across the room. They both like to throw candy around and slam doors on customers. And listen, I get it, you know, I totally get it. It's like 4:25 on a Friday, and it's like been a particularly like hard day for you. And you know, you see a big group of probably people from Ohio come off a bus, and you know they start walking towards the big old candy store, and you go, "Oh, Colby's here!" Slam!
Yep, it's haunted.
Haunted. I'm sorry, he's very upset right now. And it was funny. I was reading the article, and apparently she had told the interviewer that she had discussed it with Colby and the woman beforehand, that they would not interrupt the interview.
Really?
Yeah.
Sounds like she needs like a TLC show.
Probably. Candy and Ghosts.
Oh, man.
But actually, Harper's Ferry has the oldest ghost tour in the United States.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm on the fence of, I don't know what to feel about ghosts.
I don't know either. I've never seen one.
Neither have I. But like, I don't want to refute someone's claim. Because, you know, plus I don't want to bring that on me.
Yeah.
I don't want to bring that juju on me.
Yeah. I feel that.
There's another little ghost story on Kent Island.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you ever heard of the Kent Manor Inn?
No.
Supposedly, the Kent Manor Inn is haunted. So I've heard. I don't know. I've never personally been there. But I think there's like a book written about it and everything too, where like people that have worked there all the time, like they'll close up and they'll be leaving and they'll just see like lights flickering in all the random rooms and such, and I don't know too much about it, so I won't talk too much about it. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Real close to home too.
That is
for me.
strange.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really don't have much more to talk about in this episode. I think we're gonna probably close out a good 10 minutes early. Thank you once again for coming on.
Yeah, you're welcome. Glad to be here.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
And,
no problem.
Once again, you were listening to Guilday's Guest on WXSU LP Salisbury. Thank you once again.